true scary story. My name is Olivia. This story still haunts me, and I can't shake the feeling that I narrowly escaped something terrible. It all started when I matched with a guy on Tinder. He seemed charming and sweet, and we hit it off quickly. After a few days of chatting, he invited me to hang out at his place. It didn't seem like a big deal at the time. He lived a bit outside the city, but I didn't think twice about it. I arrived at his house just as the sun was setting. The house was older and sat at the edge of a quiet, empty street. No other houses were nearby. It gave me a weird vibe, but I brushed it off. When I knocked on the door, no one answered. After a few moments, the door creaked open by itself, just enough for me to step inside. The place was dark and quiet, too quiet. I called out his name, but no one answered. My heart started racing. Something wasn't right. That's when I heard it. A soft noise, like shuffling, coming from upstairs. Against my better judgment, I walked towards the stairs and slowly made my way up. As I reached the top, I saw a light coming from one of the rooms. My instincts were screaming at me to leave, but I pushed forward, my curiosity getting the better of me. When I peeked inside the room, my blood ran cold. There he was, the guy I matched with, standing in the middle of the room. But he wasn't alone. Behind him, tied to a chair, was a woman. Her eyes were wide with fear, and her mouth was gagged. She looked at me, desperate, as if begging for help. The man turned towards me with a slow, eerie smile and said, "You're too early." I froze. His words chilled me to the bone. That smile. There was something sinister behind it, like he was playing some sick game. My heart was pounding in my ears, and I could barely breathe. Without thinking, I bolted. I ran down the stairs, out the door, and into my car. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely get the key into the ignition. As soon as the engine roared to life, I sped away, not daring to look back. I called the police, but when they checked, the house was empty. I was too terrified. I blocked him on Tinder and tried to move on, but I can't stop wondering what would have happened if I'd stayed. What was he planning? And what happened to the woman in that chair? How would you rate this story? Share your rating in comments.